Welcome back to Sports Around the Bar. Back?
Back.
Welcome back to Sports Around the Bar. It's been a long time, admittedly. Drew and I had some things going on in life, but we are glad to be back and talking sports with you. So thank you so much for tuning into this today on Sports Around the Bar. What are we talking about, Drew? We've got to have something on the docket here.
Dude, my brother-in-law is a 49ers
Is wrong before we get into it.
He's
Spoiler alert.
Very wrong. And we had a discussion about how I believe Brock Purdy is just on the cusp of being outside the top 10 quarterback. He told me I was crazy.
I think he's a little bit more than on the cusp of top 10. I mean, I'm noted card-carrying member of the Brock Purdy Hater Club.
You're this.
I went for president, but I lost. Okay, next time around, as soon as that election comes up,
is it Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yes. Weirdly, Tom Brady too. Don't know how that makes sense, but if you're not a quarterback named Tom Brady, he's not a fan of you either.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I think Brock Purdy, I think Brock Purdy is not a top 10 quarterback. I hate to say it. I mean, I know there's some 49er fans out there that are grabbing the pitchforks as we speak, and they're telling me, Jake, you're out of your mind. We just paid him all this money. But, Drew,
right.
when
we live on this private island that we bought.
Right.
Our families live here. Good luck finding us. You're not
We
got
a really cheap deal. Can I make this joke? I don't think I can make this joke. We got a really cheap deal on one. Never mind.
It's an island you've never heard of.
Certainly hasn't been in the papers. Anyway.
Let's talk Brock Purdy stuff right now. Let's give him a little bit of hype, right? Because there's a lot of things behind Brock Purdy that kind of makes you want to root for him, right? Being Mr. True Irrelevant.
Yes.
That's cool. Last pick in the draft when he was drafted by the 49ers, that draft pick came to the 49ers by the trade of Trey Lance, I believe.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of things to be excited about the guy. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. And statistically, he sits in the top 10.
Blech. We don't care about stats around here.
But he does, regardless
if
you like it or not. I think he was in 10th for yards throwing last year in the 20.
Well, I've got a stat for you. He has the second best offensive coach in football with Kyle Shanahan calling his plays for him. You know how many other guys have that? Maybe one, and he wears red. So
I don't know who you're talking about, man.
Yeah,
Could you?
You could. I think there's an argument to be made. You could say that the Rams and McVay might be better. Sure, I mean, McVay's gone to 2 Super Bowls. Whatever, won one of them. So on top Shanahan. Of it, but lost, right? Shanahan's main thing is he goes and chokes. So I think you could argue that there's maybe 2 or 3 guys that are as good or better than Kyle Shanahan in the entire NFL. But outside of that, I don't think anyone's going to argue that, man, they got a great offensive system. They've got a bunch of weapons, some of which weirdly don't get used now that Purdy is the quarterback, where Kittle goes quiet for weeks at a time, and Debo has kind of meteorically fallen off there. Ayuk is hit or miss.
Both injured greatly during last year's season.
True.
You see someone like Jennings step up. You see someone like Ricky Parcells, when he finally got healthy after being shot, he stepped up in that position. You looked at someone like Jordan Mason and other people that, even though those huge names like McCaffrey and Ayuk and Kittle were hurt, still the team was relevant in the sense of statistics. They weren't in the win column, but that's going to change this year, right?
Yeah, and you would think. I mean, then again, you're getting all those stars back you were talking about, minus Debo, who got traded. But I think when you're talking about the 49ers and you're talking about Brock Purdy, it's important that you have to put it in the frame of what is he working with? Because if he's working with a lot, I think it's fair to say that, we need to grade him harsher than a guy that doesn't have anything to throw to. When you look at... What's a good example? Cam Ward. You talking about who he's throwing to. I think you can grade on a bit of a curve based on what your output is versus your input in terms of what is on these teams.
Well, enough of that. Let's get down to it. Obviously, you have the 4 quarterbacks that I think everyone, including the 49er fans, could admit that Brock Purdy is not better, right?
Do we want to go person by person, or do we want to go by division? Is it easier to go by division to track?
I think you got to take those 4 guys out right away.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue.
That puts him at number 5. If he's better than every other quarterback in the NFL minus the 4, so we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Well, hold on. No, actually, right.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson. And not necessarily in those orders, but that's just how I put it.
Yeah.
Those guys, he's not better than, right? That's 100% how it is. I have the list in front of me, so we can do it divisions,
yeah,
or
sure.
I can
just go down. If you got the list, let's do it. So we're already at 4, right? There's 4 names here.
He's at the 5th position right now. at being the 5th best quarterback in the NFL.
Sure.
If he's better than everyone else.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm going to go right down this list. Is he better than Jared Goff?
No, I think in terms of it, they both have stacked offenses. They both have a lot to work with. They both had great offensive coaches. And I know that Jared Goff lost his coach this year to Chicago, but at the end of the day, I think you got to look at it and say, man, like the Lions pretty much did whatever they wanted to on offense. Since Jared Goff has been there, he's had success under McVay. He's had success. Well, he's had some failures too, but like you got to go back to like Jeff Fisher's era.
Still went to Super Bowl.
He did. He's gone to Super Bowls on top of it, and even last year, even though the Lions kind of fell short of expectations and they lost to the Commanders in the playoffs.
Who would have saw that coming?
Well, for starters, they knocked Jared Goff out of the game, or they at least concussed him. He came back to play, but they had to almost cheap shot Jared Goff to slow him down. And I don't see a close comparison. I think Jared Goff is the much better quarterback than Brock Purdy. I think they both have a lot to work with, and Jared Goff is the better, very similar style play quarterback where they both want to stand in the pocket and throw the ball. Play that field general role.
I completely agree. I mean, outside of the loss of Ben Johnson for the Lions, Jared Goff has somewhat to prove, but not a whole lot. They've both been to Super Bowls. Both have lost Super Bowls. Jared Goff has turned a franchise around that has not been good. He has literally been chanted MVP every time he gets on the field in Detroit.
How many defensive players do they have in Detroit, and they still went to the playoffs the way they did last year? What is it, like
Jared
33
Goff.
starters
Jared
or something
Goff's
ridiculous?
Better. So right now, Brock Purdy is 6th-ranked quarterback in the NFL.
And falling.
Spoiler
alert.
Here's another one. This is a good one. Baker Mayfield.
That's a tough one. That is a very tough one because if you ask me today, who would I take? I would say Baker Mayfield without much debate. But I think when you look at the stats, it's a lot closer. And you could argue that even Purdy has had better seasons than Mayfield has. Mayfield went to Carolina and really couldn't do anything. He was up and down in Cleveland. And I know he's had success in Tampa, but he had success in Tampa with those two great wide receivers. Mike Evans, who at the very least is going to the Hall of Fame. I don't know if Godwin gets there. Maybe if he finishes out strong.
I don't even know how you could say that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to make it, but I'm trying to be nice, okay? It's our first show back. We're allowed to be nice.
But you have 2 Hall of Famers, in my opinion, that are sitting in the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle.
Yeah, very likely. I mean,
and a left tackle that's probably going to be a Hall of Famer too, in Trent Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And when you look at it pound for pound, I think at the end of the day, Baker has a little bit more of that winning mentality. I think my problem with Purdy is that too much of his game is like, I'm going to throw 225 to 240 yards, and then my day's over with. I don't need to go out there and put up 305 and have like a crazy game ever because our offense is so stacked and we play good defense. And just realistically, the Shanahan effect of, well, now we have Christian McCaffrey, we're going to run the rock. Where, I mean, when you look at the Buccaneers, they now have Bucky Irving. Right. It's not an awful running game like it used to be for those couple of years between Leonard Fournette and Bucky Irving. You know, no Rashad Whites. Really, I said we were going to be nice in our first episode, and here I am calling out Rashad White.
No, they have good players. I mean, Cade Otton's a good tight end. I mean, he's not incredible.
But he's not George Kittle.
No, not even close.
And I like Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is probably at the sunset of his career at this point.
I mean,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, they were throwing so many balls to him at the end of the year just to try to get him over that
1,000-yard mark.
That 1,000-yard mark.
Yeah.
So at this point,
I would take Baker.
I'm with you. I think I'm going to take Baker too. I think that is a questionable guy that a lot of 49er fans and probably my brother-in-law is telling me we're crazy because how can you say it? Brock Purdy's been to 2, Baker's been to none. I'm talking about Super Bowls. Like, there is that statistic there too, but as we said, there's a lot more going on at the 49ers organization than there is in the Buccaneers.
Kyle Shanahan hasn't ever been Baker Mayfield's coach. You look at the coaches Mayfield's played with, not quite up there, in terms of what Shanahan's been able to accomplish.
All right, another name. A little bit more difficult to decide because he's kind of, in a sense, just not really, but almost a one-year hit, even though he's been in the league for a while, Geno Smith.
No, I mean, Geno has kind of, I think it's been more than 1 year. It's been a couple of years now in Seattle.
Is it? Tell me about those 2 years in Seattle that Geno Smith's done well.
I mean, he's been a replacement-level quarterback or slightly better than replacement-level quarterback, but they've had some success, right, under Pete Carroll. And there's a reason he's now in, I almost said Oakland. It's been 5 years. I'm still saying Oakland.
Saying that.
He's now in Vegas. And when you talk about the Vegas Raiders, there's a reason that even though this team is at the bottom of their trajectory, they still went out of their way to bring a guy like Geno. It's for the consistency. Now, I don't think Geno's better than Brock Purdy. I'm actually going to say the opposite, where I think Purdy is the better player at this point. But as far as redemption careers go, Geno's had one of the best ones in the NFL, where he was a high draft pick, kind of been written off, spent that time with the Jets, which is like quarterback no man's land.
But Geno Smith was good in 2022.
Sure.
That was the year that you saw him bounce out of there. You saw him kind of come out of nowhere and become a quarterback. They talked about him being in the league.
Yeah.
Purdy has hit the ground running, regardless if you like whatever his statistics are or not. I mean, at this point, I'm taking Purdy over.
And you can't say he hasn't had people to throw to.
And
Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith,
just
and Jigba.
To clarify, because we didn't bring it up, putting Baker Mayfield above him, that knocks down Brock Purdy down to 7th.
Sure.
By the way.
Yeah. So we're already at 7th.
Geno, we're calling no good, right? No. The guy that is the one-year wonder, and Sam Darnold is who we're talking about now. That guy for sure
that is definitely a one-year wonder.
Try to tell me that he's got more than 1 year.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
This is your guy.
Little bit of background information. I liked Sam Darnold a lot when he was coming out in the draft. I might have said he was my favorite quarterback in that draft. Perhaps. It's been a while.
Seattle might find out.
And they might.
They look good.
I will say this about
preseason.
him. He looked better in Carolina than Baker did. And you saw Baker come back and kind of rejuvenate his career in Tampa Bay. The hope is that you're getting the same kind of guy in Sam Darnold where, okay, the Jets historically cannot coach up quarterbacks. They just can't do it. Doesn't seem to matter who they have. You go back to, Joe Namath? Sanchez had a year and a half that he was okay, but they did a great job running the ball.
Chad Pennington's the most
And really, that was
relevant.
the defense. That was Bart Scott in the defense that made that Jets team good.
Chad Pennington is the first quarterback.
Chad, I'm on the IR again, Pennington.
I don't care, dude. He was
okay.
He was one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time. I don't
Glass
care what
shoulder
says.
too.
I think he could throw it left-handed and throw it better than Sam.
He
Darnold
needed to
could.
because the right one wasn't working all the time. But when you look at Sam Darnold, the hope is okay, we've seen him outperform Baker in Carolina in a small sample size at points in time where the season was kind of over for him. So you got to take it all with a grain of salt.
Is he better than Brock Purdy?
No.
Yeah, I'm saying the same.
No,
too.
I haven't seen enough yet. It's one of those things he could be. After this year, I might change my answer on it.
Right now, Purdy still sits at 7.
Yeah,
We're moving on.
Yeah, I would. If I was starting, okay,
we're moving on to the next quarterback.
I'll shut up.
No, you're good. The ageless wonder, the man himself. Ayahuasca is nothing to him. Aaron Rodgers. Do you take Aaron Rodgers right now over Brock Purdy?
Me or you? Because I probably would. I know we've talked about him being washed up. I think everybody under the sun has talked about 41-year-old now,
Something like that. Yeah.
being washed. 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers being washed up. I think when you talk about
41?
Aaron Rodgers, I'm willing. See, I'm pretty good.
We'll turn 42 this season.
I think when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, he's just banked so much of a reputation that I'm like, maybe it was the Jets. What did I literally just complained about them not being able to have a good quarterback, right? Yeah. I know I said it. You got to go back to Joe Namath almost. And Jets fans, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm slighting you in any way, let me know what quarterback has been
I'm not a Jets fan, but I'm trying to think of another quarterback. Outside Chad Pennington.
You wheeled Chad Pennington out there. And I like Chad Pennington too.
He wheeled. I didn't.
You wheeled him out there because he was hurt. You had to put him in the gurney.
His legs were fine. It was his shoulders.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. It was the rest of him. And part of that's the hits, right? Yeah. Where it's you don't keep guy upright, he's not going to last forever in the NFL. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers, I'm saying yes. I think the pedigree speaks for itself. I'm willing to say that there's a little bit of football in there. I know when we talked about this off camera, I conceded I'm going to say no for argument's sake, just to kind of buff Purdy up. But
it's a no for me, and you know me. I've always spoke highly of Aaron Rodgers, even outside of football. I've had my teeter-totter moments with him. I like him, I don't like him. But when you go into the Jets organization and you make it into 2 plays or 3 plays, and
that's just the Jets. Come on,
and
that's the Jets.
And then you're like, okay, let's do this again.
Yeah.
And the whole season last year was below average.
It was.
And I know it's a Jets organization, but he's got some good players there, right? I mean, he's got some good
All
players
I know
there.
is watching him play the
Breece
Titans.
Hall is a great running back, right? I mean,
Garrett Wilson's a great receiver.
Absolutely. So he's got some playmakers.
After that, the list gets a little shorter.
I don't remember. I think he probably brought in all of his old-time favorites. I think Randall Cobb came out of retirement.
33-year-old Randall Cobb, okay. And
Devontae Adams came back.
32-year-old Devontae Adams.
I'm just saying, he brought all of his friends.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, he did.
And he was still below average.
This is the LeBron effect. Don't let your star players run the roster. Tell them, hey, that's great and all, but I'm the GM for a reason. Okay? We don't need to sign Adam Lazard. We don't need to do that for $16 million a year. That doesn't have to happen.
Brock Purdy right now is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. It could change if Aaron Rodgers turns himself around in the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it's not going to happen right now.
I don't agree, but I'll concede it for argument's sake.
Sure.
Of does Purdy make it in our best case scenario here?
Sure.
I don't agree, but I'll concede it. So we'll say that for now, for argument's sake, he's on there.
Brock Purdy stays at 7.
Sure.
All right. This is a tough one, but I think this is a guy that's going to beat him.
These have been some tough ones.
They are. This is going to be tougher.
Sure.
Justin Herbert.
Oh, that's not tough.
It is
That's
tough.
not tough.
That's not tough.
Same deal. The Chargers have been terrible under their previous head coach, not Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. It's been too long.
It has. I'm drawing a blank on his name, and so are you.
That guy.
I think editor, save us.
Someone pull him up quick. No, I think this is hard. And the reason I think it's hard is not that Justin Herbert isn't a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Look him up while we're doing it.
I am.
That isn't the case because I think Justin Herbert, talent-wise, arm-wise, pocket presence, seems to be a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
I'm going to say it and we're going to yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Brandon something, right?
Brandon Staley. I didn't have to look it up. Brandon Staley. I was typing it in. Brandon Staley. Do we even watch football?
No.
No? Okay.
No, we took this hiatus. We also didn't watch a single thing of football.
Yeah, Brandon Staley didn't do him any favors.
You have to look at everything that Justin Herbert has as talent is better than Brock Purdy, but I don't know if wins and losses come into effect because if that's the case, because some of this is that, because being the number one position in the NFL, being the NFL quarterback, being the starter, you have to push your team to win.
I'm going to crush it right now. You ready? I'm going to step on that can and just smash it beneath my boot.
Okay.
Flip the teams. Brock Purdy's out of the NFL. If Justin Herbert's playing with Kyle Shanahan this entire time and Brock Purdy was with Brandon Staley.
Well, we're never going to know because John Harbaugh.
We're not going to know.
Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball.
I think Jim Harbaugh can make it work with Purdy, but if we're talking about him with Staley, like when Herbert had to come into the league, he's out of the league by now. We would have said, oh, Mr. Irrelevant can't play football. He's a backup.
Yeah.
The only thing is, offensive coaching-wise, you take Brandon Herbert, a guy that has, all the traits and everything that you said, all the tools, you put him with a great offensive coach, we'd be like, oh, he's Mahomes. We would be saying the same thing. Or we'd be like, he's just shy of He'd be Allen. He'd be
Justin Herbert is definitely...
He'd be Burrow.
Is definitely a very talented quarterback.
And the hope is...
Outside of the last 2 years, you always put Herbert at the top 5.
We did, and I think we've kind of, everyone's like, well, when am I going to see it with Herbert? Where,
they
keep going,
that's what
fringe.
My statement that you just stomped on.
And I'm saying there is some validity to it, but I think what kills that is when you say, well, what's he been dealing with? I mean, I think that all goes out the window. Mike Williams, who's basically out of football now, was there when Herbert got there.
Keenan Allen's back.
Keenan Allen is back, but, again, 97-year-old Keenan Allen is back. Oh, problem solved.
All right.
I do think I might change my opinion on him if they struggle this year because now that they have some more wide receiver help, and like you said, Keenan Allen is back, they've got a couple other options. If
they got a one-eyed running back in Najee Harris with his supposed bottle rocket.
One-eyed, one finger, whatever's left of Najee Harris is there. Now that he has some stuff and he's got Jim Harbaugh as a coach, if we continue to see the struggles, sure, maybe I'll change my opinion. But for now, I'm putting Herbert to me, this is not even close. I'm kind of shocked we're having this discussion.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I think a lot of other people, and I'm trying to be fair here because
you hate the Chargers.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead. You don't even think they should cut him. They should just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay,
he'd be a great backup
for Kansas City. We might even cut Bailey Zappi for him.
So
maybe
I don't know yet. Gardner Minshew definitely better.
All right. Now, not last year when he was a Raider, but now.
No. So that puts Brock Purdy at 8 because I agree with you. Justin Herbert at this point in time, even with the losses.
God, we're gonna go for an hour.
Talent was probably.
Okay,
as soon as Brock Purdy's out of the top 10, that ends our conversation.
No, we gotta finish. We gotta say where he's at. We can't just say, oh, he's out of the top 10. He's 11th, everyone. Good night.
Good night. That's where he's at. Welcome to a 3-hour podcast with Sports Around the Bar.
I'm sorry, but we're not leaving things half done. We're not doing it.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, 8.
You're going to buy me more beer. That's all I know.
I know.
That puts him at 8. All right. The next person on my list.
Maybe we'll cut it at 10.
Here's the next person on the list. I know this is your guy. You've been hyping him up. Oh, there's a lot of your guys.
I have a lot of my guys.
Yeah.
And usually they play for the Jets.
This one has not, but just as equally as a bad franchise is Kyler Murray. Just as bad franchise.
Shut up.
Just
when was
as
the last
bad.
time the Jets went to the Super Bowl? You got to wait a minute. When was the last time the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl?
74-ish?
It's a fair guess.
Something
I don't
around
know.
there.
I asked the question. I don't know the answer to myself. Jets fans, again, I'm picking on the Jets tonight.
Yes,
I
you
don't
are.
mean to.
Well, they have a lot of quarterbacks
Kyler
on this roster that played for them.
That's true. But Kyler Murray is like way better than Brock Purdy. I think Kyler Murray is the only reason the Cardinals haven't been like in a top 3 picking scenario pretty much since Kingsbury, where you talk about all those runs they'd go on, they'd win 10 games, and then Kyler Murray would get hurt and they'd fall right off a cliff.
But isn't that an issue?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has some health issues. I agree. But
Brock Purdy's
like,
not been hurt.
who are his offensive linemen? He doesn't have Trent Williams out in Arizona.
DJ Humphries.
Yeah, we were going to be nice, Andrew. You're going to make me say something about DJ Humphries now. He's fine. He's been an NFL caliber player for like 10 years now, 11 years.
With this being far out of sports talk, I think it's probably the only offensive guy I could have named on the offensive line of the Cardinals.
Their center was good, and he went to the Raiders. Rodney Houston.
No, that was a Chief.
Thank you. Rodney something. Rodney, my
Hudson?
favorite center. Rodney Hudson.
That was a Chief.
I don't remember his name. God. Editor, save me.
I think.
But the offensive line's been pretty
Now you're
bad.
making me question myself. I don't know.
Who cares about the Cardinals? And if you're in the comments right now saying, I know the Cardinals offensive lineman. I should know him, Drew, but that speaks on the talent level they've had.
Come back.
They had Dennis Daly last year.
If you're like, these guys suck, come back in 2 years. We'll name all.
There'll be different ones. There'll be different ones.
We'll name
so
all the offensive Cardinals line. All of them.
Anyway, the moral of the story is they haven't done enough in the offensive line to help Kyler Murray. They really haven't done much outside of top receiver for him, where they had DeAndre Hopkins. I'll admit they picked the right time to get rid of him.
Is this more of a talent thing? Is it more like a Justin Herbert thing, where it's like the talent is just so much better than Brock Purdy that you can't put Brock Purdy over Kyler Murray?
And they won a lot of games while he was healthy. My thing is, like, take him and put him behind a good offensive line.
He played almost all of last year, and they didn't win a lot of games.
But, like, last
the 49ers beat them.
That's fair. I mean, same deal. Roster strength. You're going to tell me you're going to take the 49ers roster, or the Cardinals roster over the 49ers? You're not going to do that.
Well, no. Everyone wants to live in San Francisco. No one wants to live in Arizona. I'm kidding.
Tell that to Brock Purdy, who is probably spending he's got to live with his parents to even afford, or did. Now he probably didn't have to.
Didn't have to no more.
But had to live with his parents to afford to live in the Bay Area.
We didn't really get to a lot of good talk, but this definitely knocks him down to number 9, right?
Yes. Kyler Murray, to me, is actually a top 10 quarterback. I think people sleep on Kyler Murray because it's Arizona. It's a small market. Nobody cares about him. Call of Duty comes out in the middle of the season. I'm sure that's a pretty big distraction. But
I've heard.
he likes his video games. But when you're talking about Kyler Murray, I think you got to look at it more so from the injury side. I think you have to look at it from the talent side when he's out there. You might say I wouldn't want to trust Kyler Murray with my franchise because of the injuries, but I think when he's out there, it's night and day. There's just the physical abilities there, the passing ability.
But I think that puts a whole dagger in your whole conversation, is because I would trust Brock Purdy to be out there. He's been out there.
Put him in front of the firing squad that is the Arizona Cardinals offensive line, who, again, we've named how many of them?
At least one.
DJ Humphries, Paris Johnson, who they drafted highly a couple of years ago, who has been, all right.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's both the tackles.
All right.
They don't have guards in Arizona. We just roll out with Kyler Murray. We don't need him. But for me, Murray, way over him. I don't think this is a discussion.
So that puts him at 9.
Yeah, I really don't think it's a discussion.
Rookie last year. The next guy is a rookie last year. Has definitely outperformed what a lot of people thought we were. We were both high on this guy. We liked him a lot. Bo Nix.
That's a tough one. Because we haven't seen a lot of Bo Nix.
Right.
I mean, for argument's sake, maybe I'd say yes, because the weakest part of the Broncos team was probably the offense. Right? But we like Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, because that defense was so good.
Yeah. We like Cortland Sutton. I mean,
right.
After that, they traded Judy away.
I'm actually trying to think who else is on that.
Tim Patrick's gone now, so your guy is gone. Noted your guy.
Tim Patrick is one of my guys. Yep, he's gone. Those 3 years of being hurt every year kind of really hurt to be my guy, but he's still my guy.
Sure, yeah.
I think he's a Lion.
You are Mr. Like, if you're hurt, you're dead to me. So
We just said he's my guy, so I
did.
I had to just claim him at this point. Bo Nix right now is not better than Brock
Let's call it for argument's sake that Bo Nix is not there. Even though I think it's close, and if I was starting a franchise today, I would take Bo Nix for the ceiling factor,
Sure.
where it's like Bo Nix might continue to get better, and Bo Nix, if I was starting a new franchise and I had the opportunity to pluck one of those two quarterbacks to put on my team as my starter, I'd take Bo Nix and I wouldn't flinch. But right now, if I had to win a game, I'll go with the experience with Purdy, I guess.
I'm definitely taking Purdy over Bo Nix, and I agree with that statement. I think at some point in time, maybe even this year, you're looking at Bo Nix taking a huge step, and then we do this same.
And we're like, can you believe we said Bo Nix is behind Brock Purdy?
Because Bo Nix did a lot, but he also did a lot behind a very good defense. I think they were top 3.
Yeah.
So they were outstanding on defense.
Tons of talent there.
And allowed him to be able to make mistakes, and it didn't cost them wins. So right now, Brock Purdy stays at 9. Matthew Stafford.
Easy. Yes. I think that's kind of like coming to an end. But
That puts Brock Purdy at 10.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that we're very clear about this. Matthew Stafford right now at
Better
40.
38?
Younger
Younger than those guys. 38, I'm going to say.
Nope, 37.
37.
He is a lot younger than that guy. And he's got a lot of gray.
It's not the age, it's the mileage. He was like a 20-year-old
That
when
is
he was
true.
drafted.
That is
so
true.
That's why you feel like it, because he's been around long enough to
That
be
is
40
true.
years old. But
he's
not
got a lot
quite
of
there
gray.
yet.
Man,
Yeah.
he's younger than I am. Whew, he's got a lot of gray.
Again, it's not the age, it's the mileage. You don't want all those broken backs and necks and everything he's got going on.
Collarbones
Yeah,
and whatever else he's got.
And all that is like just probably crunches.
I
as
will
moving
agree
around.
with this statement that Matthew Stafford right now is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy because everyone had them dead to rights.
How many rings you got?
Last year, no one thought the Rams were going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they proved everyone wrong. Yes, you saw the research of their defense with
that was a major point.
like Jared Verse, like
line.
obviously
Yeah.
that was huge. It definitely helped out. That guy seems to be a complete stud.
Exactly.
But you also saw what what Matthew Stafford can do with this offense with aging receivers. Even
he had Kupp that was hurt. He had his other receiver is
Puka.
Puka Nacua. Thank you.
who's not an aging receiver, by the way.
He's not aging, but he was out for a lot of the year. He had a pretty serious injury early and then came back for
Yeah.
the back half of the season. He's managed to get it done when his receivers have been in and out of the game. And with Matt Stafford, like, it just keeps rolling. I think the best kind of advertisement I can say for him is he got better when he lost his number one wide receiver. Most quarterbacks don't do that. When Calvin Johnson retired, he started to become a true quarterback that's able to like spread the ball around instead of throw it to Calvin every play.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about him, he's got a Super Bowl ring. He's still one of the top end passers in the league. Yes, the Rams still have some like warts as a roster where they've got some issues they need to solve, but they have a chance because they have Matthew Stafford. If they had a league average quarterback, I think we're talking about the Rams as an afterthought. We'd be saying, man, that defensive line's coming along and the rest of the team can't do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe even Nacua wouldn't be the name that he is without Matthew Stafford.
I don't
Question mark. I'm
that guy's hands.
He
is
looks good.
incredible.
He looks good, but great offensive coach, great quarterback. Just
Sure.
saying, some of us aren't working with all those gems around us.
Puka's hands are incredible.
Sure.
His hands
I don't disagree.
are
And for a 6th-round pick,
insane.
man, like
How
let me get a 6th round
did
like
he
that.
slip down that far?
I think it's his nature versus nurture. I think even beyond the physical ability, a lot of it is just coaching up and having a good offensive coach that knows how to turn you into
Crazy.
a top wide receiver
Crazy.
and a quarterback that tells you how to get open and where you need to be and the timing. And Puka's great though.
Puka's
Like,
great.
it doesn't sound like I'm complimenting Puka, but he is pretty great.
He's pretty fun to watch. And
Let's keep it rolling.
And he's a likable guy.
I'm already out of beer. Let's keep it rolling.
We'll go get one.
And through the power of editing, my beer has been refilled.
That we need to pay that assistant more money than we pay him.
Oh, more than zero?
All right. Brock Purdy is still sitting in the top 10 at number 10. We got the next quarterback. This guy has a lot of hype around him.
Is this the nail in the coffin?
Dude, it might be. Because this guy has a lot of hype around him. C.J. Stroud for the Houston Texans.
Yeah. That ends it, right? I mean,
It does. It definitely takes him
you
out of the
look
top
at
10.
how Houston has turned around as a franchise just by having him. And, they took a pick on him. I'll admit, I wasn't sold on him. I felt like Justin Fields had a better career at Ohio State.
What
than
Ohio
CJ
State
Stroud had.
quarterbacks works in the NFL?
Stroud, apparently. And I'm sure the Steelers open Will Howard, where it's like, well, we don't have to draft another one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Same deal. Where it's like, I don't know he has the physical ability, but Ohio State quarterbacks tend to not work out very well. CJ Stroud has bucked that trend, and I think you're kind of out of your mind to say Purdy's better than him. I mean, 2 years, they've pretty much dominated the AFC South since they've been there. Jacksonville was kind of challenging a little bit, but now they're back to business of like holding down the bottom of the division or challenging the Titans for it.
Yeah,
so
that puts Brock Purdy out of the top 10, which kind of ends what we're talking about here. If can Brock Purdy stay in the top 10? There's other quarterbacks we didn't reach to.
It does.
We got the last Super Bowl winner in Jalen Hurts. We have someone like Jordan Love who came out of nowhere. We got Jaden Daniels, who was also a rookie last year, that seemed to be completely out of the blue a stud, taking at number 2 above Caleb Williams, which is also another quarterback we did not talk about.
Then we could talk about the Purdy thing. And again, guys, we're going to do a blind quarterback ranking coming up. So if you enjoyed what you heard and you like talking sports with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us, whatever channel you're on, make sure you hit it, because we are going to discuss more in depth where we see each of these quarterbacks and where they fall. At least for now, I think we've settled the issue of is Purdy in the top 10? I think that's a resounding no.
No.
Yeah. So for Sports Around the Bar, guys, I'm Jake. This is Drew, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.